I'm Old Head Ed.
And I'm Mr. Belief. And we like to welcome y'all to Barcodes. Barcodes is a podcast where we delve into the lyrics of your favorite MCs, verse by verse.
Each episode, we invite an artist onto the show,
Break down their own bars, and give the listeners a deeper understanding of the meaning and inspiration behind their music.
from underground up-and-comers to established industry veterans.
We cover it all. So join us as we explore the art of MCing and the stories behind the bars on Barcodes.
Barcodes.
Barcodes in the building.
Another episode in your area.
You already
Barcodes. That is Belief. I am Old Head Ed. And back again.
I'm back, kid.
Enjoyed himself so much the first time
yes,
around.
Yes.
Homeboy Sandman back in the building.
Yes.
Speaking of, shouts to Yeasty Brews for allowing us to set camp here and make this happen and bring you guys another dope episode. This time around we're gonna get into a track off of the 12 Days of Christmas. Yes.
Dia de los Reyes.
Dia de los
album.
Reyes. Yeah. Correct. Which you dropped right in tune just after Christmas. It was the 26th moving forward, right?
Well, at the 25th, I dropped First Day of Christmas.
Okay.
Because
Boom.
every single track is named after a day of Christmas.
Word.
First, second. There was a single for 12 days straight, and then the 13th day was Dia de los Reyes.
Word.
Yeah.
Dope. Who handled we're going to get into the 7th day on this one.
Yeah. The 7th day.
Production?
Illingsworth did that.
Illingsworth,
Yeah,
okay.
the same cat who produced There in Spirit, the There in Spirit EP.
Got you.
Illingsworth is crazy nice. We was listening to he got an album called Only Rappers Will Like This. He raps too. Like somebody, and I realized as the last couple of records I put out, Decca did the last one. He's an amazing rapper and an amazing producer. Previous to that, A$AP Rock, amazing rapper, amazing producer. Quelle Chris, amazing rapper, amazing producer. Illingsworth, amazing rapper, amazing producer. So that's something. There's something special about people that are
that can handle both.
yeah,
tasks.
that can handle both. That can handle both at an elite level. Like I think all them 4 cats that I just named are some of my favorite cats. On both sides.
With good reason. Definitely. Let's get into this track. I mean, I can't. The anticipation. I feel like I'm a kid waiting for Christmas to pop off, especially with this one right here.
Well, before we get into it, I want to ask the question.
Please do.
You possibly remember it from the last episode that we did. Do you remember when and where you were at when you created this verse?
Absolutely.
And what drew the inspiration to write it?
I was walking down 4th Avenue in Brooklyn. I take long walks. It's something I like to do. So I don't know. I might have been walking into the city, or something. But my lady and Tati, who I love, she really is my heart, and I adore her. But being in a relationship with another human being, whether it's a romantic relationship, family relationship, brother, sister, friend, whatever it is, it's 2 different people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when there's 2 different people trying to be on the same page, it oftentimes,
It requires work.
It requires work, without a doubt. And not only that, but there's these oscillations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, now we even though we 2 different people, we got on the same wavelength. We got a rhythm going, and then okay, now the rhythm's a little. You know what I mean? It's like this constant. Like.
It's like sine, cosine. It's like the wave.
Y'all both could be on the same wave sometime, but then sometimes the waves are out. You can try and stay in the same current. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
True.
But really for the first time in my life, I'm in love though, and I'm dedicated. Like I don't have the, for the first time in my life, I realized that I'm gonna be with somebody.
Yeah.
And
that's
I'm,
settling in. That thought is
that I'm. So certain, I guess, mechanisms that used to kick in, like we just breaking out now, are not there anymore. So I have like, and basically this jam, so I have to learn to, how to deal with frustration, and I have to learn how to deal with, disagreement. You know what I mean?
Right.
And this jam, there have been some disagreement, or that we had, and I was feeling a frustration from it. And while I was on this walk, you know, something recent happened. I can't remember what it was, but when it happened, by that point, you know, we've been together a couple years now, and I realized that it's a dip before, you know, I realized what it is.
Peaks and valleys.
It's a valley and there's a peak, you know. So I see it that way. I had this beat from Illingsworth that I hadn't written to, and I love this beat so much because it's really like a 2-part beat, you know, like it has a part that sounds very, you know, kind of uplifting and kind of joyful, and then it has another part of the beat that sounds kind of somber and kind of solemn. And the mood that I was in, it really just started coming out. Like, you know, it started coming out, you know, just to fit the beat. You know, I'm gonna have peaks. This song is gonna be peaks and valleys. You know what I mean, of love. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Interesting, because when we get into the lines, you're gonna see where there's the dichotomy of the high and low. A lot of times it happens.
Well, one of the questions I wanted to ask you, this is what I do as an artist, and I always ask artists this, especially when they talk about or where they make a record that's like personal or something that was like bothering them or whatnot. For me, it's it's therapeutic. So like, I'll something will be bothering me or some kind of topic or whatever, and then I'll put it on record, and then once I record it and lay it down, for some reason there's like a sense of release and it's like a weight off of your shoulders. Does that happen to you?
Yeah, I can relate to that. I mean, I can relate to it even the process of writing it helps me work through it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's almost like we're our own psychologists or something. Like, instead of laying on a couch, we just work it through with ourselves, but we let it all out. You know what I mean? So I relate to that very much. Yeah.
I bet.
Let's get into it.
All right, so you know, it got the intro that's real, you know, it's very cheerful, and then I start rhyming on the downbeat, you know. Sometimes I'm making a move and run into a delay. Sometimes I get in a mood. When I end up on the route, then I end up in the way. I end up in my own way, you know. Or sometimes I'm making a move and run into a delay. Like, it's frustration, different ways of talking about frustration. Sometimes I'm making a move, run into a delay. Sometimes I get in a mood and I get moody. I was feeling moody. Like, I was going to call the song Moody before it ends with, you know, the word moody. And it's about being moody, you know. But sometimes I'm making a move and run into a delay. Sometimes I get in the mood when I end up on a route, then I end up in a way.
Which is kind of tough. I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's kind of tough because it's, you know, you're on the track, you're on the right track, or you're here for a purpose. And then just that moment, these moments where you kind of, you know, you question things, or you stop to contemplate, you find that you get in your own way of your own progress. So it's pretty interesting that plays out that way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But go ahead. I digress.
I end up no. That's exactly what the rhyme is about. Okay. Then I end up in a way. I'm never trying to be foul. I'm always trying to be fair, but I ain't trying to be down or trying to be scared. So it's not like I'm always trying to, you know, I'm not ever trying to be foul, you know, within a relationship, you know. But I'm not trying to be down. Like, I'm not trying to, you know, be like
just accepted.
Yeah. I'm not trying to, and I'm not trying to be like, you know, just appeasing. Like, you know, I want things to be correct. You know what I mean? I'm happy to say when I'm wrong, but I'm not gonna be here like, you know, something makes sense.
You're shouldering it all.
Right. I'm not trying to be down or trying to be scared. You know what I mean? I'm not just going to be scared to express myself. You know what I mean?
True.
So I said what I said because I thought what I thought. Then we wound up in a war, but that is not what I want. I only want to be loved. That is all that I seek. So you can keep the routine and keep the critique. So I ain't trying to be down or try to be scared. So I said what I said because I thought what I thought. We wound up in a war. That is not what I want. So obviously I said something because I felt it, and that was not, you know, there was not agreement about that particular thing. We wound up in a war, but that's not what I want. I don't want to be fighting. I only want to be loved. That's all that I seek. So you could keep the routine. I don't like, it might have been, actually now I'm remembering it now. You keep the, I'm not a routine person. You know, like, Dati is her life has more of a routine. For me, I'm like, I don't know what'll happen. I don't do the same thing yesterday I did today. And now we kind of meet in some place in the middle, you know?
Yeah.
But it was kind of about, you know, about that. So you can keep the routine, keep the critique. You know, the critique is telling me how I'm supposed to be acting, how I'm supposed to be behaving. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the down. And then it goes into, But yo, I love when you smile or when you're making a face. You're the girl of my dreams. You're a part of my fate. Which is, so then it switches into but I recognize that you are my heart. You're my home, But so it switches from all that, I'm not really feeling this to, but yo, I love when you smile and when you're making a face. You're the girl of my dreams. You're a part of my fate. You're the light of my life. You're my ace in the hole. You're my flower in bloom. You're the light of my life. You're the star. You're my stars and my moon. You were always the sun. You were never the rain. You were always the one. You were never to blame for making anything worse. It's been that way from the start. You give me heaven on earth. I hope you take this to heart. And all those verses are just, pure celebration of the love and recognition of the magic, that I'm. So
you feel like you're like conflicted with yourself because of what you're feeling, as far as like, you're frustrated and you're stating things that are bothering you, but you're also resonating with the fact that like, but you love this person, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you're addressing both at the time, so it's like it's internal conflict.
Yeah, it's an internal conflict, and it's an internal reminder, almost like you're feeling upset, but you got this magical girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If I could go back to and so I said what I said because I thought what I thought. It's interesting, the situation, because here you are you're saying something because that's how you felt off rip. So there's a level of transparency.
Saying what's on his mind.
Saying what's on your mind, which a lot of times it's not. Things aren't communicated, and then it makes it even more difficult to find a resolution.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it could come off as a frustration or a situation if you're speaking your mind and then it's not for whatever reason, because like you said, we're all different. The relationships, two people in the relationships see things, perspectives are different. So if they don't catch it the first time, their initial reaction might be to like come back with frustration. Right. And it's like, but all I wanted to do was just put everything on, be transparent, so you can see where I'm coming from. So that's it's an interesting spot to be in, because here you are thinking, I'm doing this with the right intention, and then this caused the rift.
And it's very relatable, because everybody that's been in a relationship has been in this situation. You know what I'm saying? At least those that choose to really think about and work for the relationships. You know what I'm saying? Some people will be like, man, fuck it.
Right. But when you make a decision that you want to, or when you get to a place that you're ready for that, then I think probably, some people relate to, which people told me when the song came out. And when you say that, it's funny, because I have a song that didn't come out that's called Honesty. And the hook goes, you say you want me to be honest because honesty is all you need. True indeed. You say you want me to be honest, but when I'm honest, you leave. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that it is. I think it is the right thing to be transparent. You know what I mean? But if that transparency leads to the disconnect, then I feel that that's a good indicator that the disconnect is probably what was supposed to happen.
Word. Word. Indeed. Then you go on to just break down all the positive, all the upside, and you do that for several lines.
I think it's 8 and 8 maybe. You are never to blame for making anything worse. It's been that way from the start. You give me heaven on earth. I hope you take this to heart. And then switching back. But why you all in my mix? Telling me what to do. Telling me what to. Oh no, why you all in my mix? Telling me what to do. Why you do that to me? I don't do that to you. Always lending a hand when didn't nobody ask. I think it come from your fam. I think it come from your past. And basically what that is. Again, even as I listen to this, like, I've been an independent person doing whatever I want for a long, long time, and have really, I got songs that talk about how I kind of probably developed a lot of my, I got a song called Trauma where later on I say, no wonder my relationships with women always fail. You know what I mean? But like, I don't like nobody really telling or even really making a whole lot of suggestions on a music tip. You can find stories of cats that try to. I wouldn't care if Stevie. I brought up Stevie the other day. He's the best.
Yeah.
But if Stevie told me maybe you should do this instead, I'll be like, yo, get out of here, Stevie. You know nothing about my music.
That was and this isn't new for you, because you have a lyric from way back where it's like you ran into somebody and then you said you should start rocking with a band. Yeah. You are not just you are a brand. So it's like when you start getting that unsolicited advice.
Yeah. I'm not great with unsolicited advice. You know what I mean? I find it as a deterrent, Yeah. But so why you all in my mix telling me what to do? Why you do that to me? I don't do that to you. Always lending a hand when didn't nobody ask. I think it come from your fam, come from your past. She's way tighter with her. I love my family. You know, I love my family and we are tight. She has a dynamic with her family that is way more on a day-to-day tip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Than my relationship with my family. You know what I'm saying? So that's, you know, me saying I think that's where that comes from. I mean, this song is really me talking to her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Think it come from your fam. Think it come from your past. So now you taking offense and want to be mad. That's, you know, when I say something like that, then it's switch it. Oh, I think you only sweat at me because you be getting sweated by, you know, I don't want to bring a whole family into the mix, you know, but you know, me and my family been recognized. I'm gonna do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your family don't recognize you gonna do what you want to do, don't go bringing that into my mix. You know?
Okay.
Taking offense, want to be mad. That is word to my mom's, word to my dad, which is just another way of saying word to that. Can't you get off my back? Can't you show me some grace? Can't you cut me some slack and give me some space? Give me some space. So that's, you know, more reiteration of, you know, get off my back. Show me some grace, like let me be who I'm gonna be. You know what I mean? Don't try to be, you know, I'm not a piece of clay here to get molded. You know, I'm Boy Sand, I'm Angel. You know, this is how I get down. How do you get down? We'll get down the way we get down together. You know, but don't go try to implement the new techniques. You know what I'm saying?
You're kind of giving the blueprint of how to correct the situation.
Yeah.
With the instructions, like, yo, just, you know, ease up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please ease up.
I feel that.
And I'm saying, give me some space. But then I come right back, the beat switch, but I don't want any space. I always want to be close. That's how come I propose, and I'm proposing a toast. When I'm spiritually broke, you throw me a bone. Baby, we should elope and take the show on the road. When I be doing the most, you still don't leave me alone. Baby, you are my homie. You are my home. There is no one like you. Love you for the rest of my life and my afterlife, too. And that came from one time when I was like, I love you. You know, like, I'm going to love you for the rest of my life. She was like, what about after? You know what I mean? I was like, all right, afterwards too. That's what that line was.
You already
about.
signed the contract. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's a given.
and there's a, you know, I say that's how come I propose, and I'm proposing a toast. And multiple people shouted me out after, like, oh snap, you proposed. And I, you know, the bar is, I've made the lifetime commitment to her. So I haven't, you know, there hasn't been any official proposal, even though, you know, we get along because we both move at our own speed, with society moving at whatever speed they want. You know, so we have the ways that we look at marriage and but the commitment to one another is there, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want any space. I always want to be close. That's how come I propose, and I propose in the toast. When I'm spiritually broke, you throw me a bone. I mean, you know, I'm very grateful for my girl. You know, she could really see inside me, you know what I mean? She could really see inside me, and she really, you know, she gives me a love that it really makes me, you know, it really makes me invincible. It reminds me of my invincibility. It's a very empowering thing, you know. I'm very grateful for my relationship, you know what I mean? When I'm spiritually broke, you throw me a bone. We should elope and take the show on the road. You know, just, you know, she's not here in Florida because, you know, her mom's is retiring next week, and the family's gonna do something for them. That's the reason she's not here. But I'm trying to get her to come with me on a. You know, we would
have had her on an episode of Barcodes because I know she dropped bars too. She would have definitely. Tati, you got that open invitation. We would have definitely had you on this Barcodes. But
the Palo Santos. The Palo Santos is our,
that's
our crew.
Okay,
yeah.
Crew. Hey,
she loves Palo Santo.
There you go.
When I be doing the most, you still don't leave me alone. You know what I mean? So I recognize that I'm wrong. Like throughout the song, like I end up with realization of like, I'm bugging. You know what I mean? Like, but when I be doing the most, you still don't leave me alone. You're my homie, you're my home. There's no one like you. Love you for the rest of my life and my afterlife too. But put yourself in my shoes. I know that I ain't perfect. I'm a person trying to work on my issues. I do not be, I know what I'm a perfect trying to work on my shoes. I do not be
getting short.
I do not be getting short or have a short fuse. And that's one, I do not be getting short or have a short fuse. So I always got to be the one to call truth so we don't have the same views. And that's basically me saying, yo, I'm not, you know, I don't have a bad temper. You know what I mean? I be trying to communicate in a very respectful way. You know, I don't be getting short or have a short fuse. So I always got to be the one to call truth so we don't share the same views. If we're not seeing things, you know, the same way, How come I need to be the one to come forth and say, you know what, baby, let's move. I was feeling that way at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, when I was writing it. But you know, that's the way I was feeling. But by the end of the song, you know, but that's what that rhyme meant, you know. So I always got to be the one to call truth. We don't share the same views. That ain't right. I know you probably feel that inside, but you don't want to hear that inside. You know. I know you probably know that. You know, you take things personally. You know what I mean? When I go to give you some input, you take it personally in a way that you hope that you don't want me to take it, but you don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? I know you probably feel that inside, but you don't want to hear that inside. Make me feel it's just like I'm losing my mind. I'm not always trying to be kind. Is that such a crime? And with the I'm not always trying to be kind, is that such a crime? Is like I don't want to keep in mind, you know, that I'm supposed to be mature. I don't want to keep in mind that we are in a loving relationship always, and our goal is to work things out. I don't want to keep, you know, like I want to. That's a challenging thing. You said before it takes that's a challenging thing, and sometimes I want to let go of that challenge. I don't want to deal with that, you know, which is basically sometimes I want to revert to, you know, the way I was before. You know what I mean? I don't want to I don't want to face that responsibility and accept that responsibility. You know what I mean? But then right after that,
But so just to add on, but the fact that you've arrived at that point also shows that there's growth.
Right,
like
right,
you have arrived at that point,
Yeah.
despite how that might come off, where it's like, yo, just I'm at this place where it's like it's not gonna benefit us if we keep going forward with this discussion or whatever. You're at a point where you realize, oh, I recognize that,
right,
and then that only helps further, you know, healing.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like Belief said about the therapeuticness of
Yes,
writing.
the nature, yeah.
It's like almost, you know, not only is this up and down as far as my mood, but it's also me talking. I'm talking to her, but I'm also talking to myself. You know, like I'm the cat that doesn't put up with this. You're the cat that has determined that this is, you know, the best thing that ever happened to you, and you want to, you know, you don't want to keep that from yourself. You know what I mean? You want to, you know what I mean? So that's another, you know, it reminds me of the therapeutic thing because it's, you know, it's a you know,
working
the
it
angel
out.
and the
Actually,
devil on the
yeah,
shoulder.
yeah,
type of
you're
thing.
working it out.
You're trying to get the bad thoughts out. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
you're trying
right.
to toss them out, and so you could you know, you already recognize the good in it, and you're just trying to keep the good. You know what I'm saying? But you have to get rid of the negative.
Do the point counterpoint.
it out.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Make me feel just like I'm losing my mind. I'm not always trying to be kind. Is that such a crime? And then it's switches to the, you know, the last set. Is that such a crime? You show me it is. It is a crime. Each moment I live, you show me your gifts. That's why you're my whiz, and you've been my wish since I was a kid. And now you're for real. It's impossible to explain the way that I feel. It's impossible to explain how grateful I am to you and to God that we are a team. You bring me peace with peas in a pod. It's not you when I'm unruly. Don't mind me. I get moody. You know what I mean? And that's the end of the thing. But you know, the last switch is I'm not always trying to be kind. Is that such a crime? You actually show me that it is. You actually show me that the same, you know, devotion, dedication that I give to my art. I love my art. Like, you know, I said I'm in love for the first time in my life, and that's with a woman, you know? But I've been in love with my art for a long time, and I recognize the dedication and devotion and commitment that it take, you know? Bring that same commitment, devotion, work ethic to this, you know, but to being kind, you know, I want to be kind. I want to be loving, you know, I want to be a loving person. You know, I don't want to take things personally. I don't even want to be, you know, I got this protective shell. You know, me and Billy were talking about it the other day, you know, like, you know, we were talking about for me as a young person, I developed the idea that I needed to defend myself from people. You know, I need to defend myself physically. I need to defend myself in relationships. And if I don't do that, then all heck is going to break loose and people are going to take advantage of me all up and down the street. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, maybe that served a purpose at a time. You know what I mean? But I do want to be kind now. I do want to be kind to people even when they're not being kind to me. You know what I mean? So I don't want to take the easy way out and say, you know what, this ain't fair. I want to say, I want to be better than I was before, you know? So you show me it is each moment I live. You show me your gifts. That's why you're my whiz. You've been, you know, whiz, you know, be the term
Wisdom,
for, you know, you've been my wish since I was a kid, you know? And that's a, you know, rap is crazy, teaches crazy things about relationships, you know. I was like, I'm thinking, though, the other day, I don't know where I was, but they was playing It Ain't No Fun If the Homies Can't Have None.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this is the craziest record of all time, babe. Like, basically, it's terrible. Like,
Revisit some Macanelli shit, bro. Like,
oh, man. You ain't even got to,
yo, somebody threw that shit on the other day, and I was just like, damn, bro. Like, this would not fly in this day and age.
No, and it's true, man. Even adding on the fact that how much hip hop influences how we handle things. Yo, shouts to Orion. Matter of fact, after
Orion was there the other
day. Yeah, he was there the night after that show. We wrote together back to the crib, back to Broward, and we got into the conversation, or maybe it was when we were pulling up. But anyway, either way, I digress. We got into the conversation of Method Man and Mary J's "You're All I Need," and this is Barcodez. So let's talk about bars, outside of what we're dealing with here. But I was like, yo, you know what? I realized that I handled relationships or a relationship with a mind frame where it's like when he goes, where he says something about he goes, I'm your mister, you my missus, with hugs and kisses, Valentine's cards and birthday wishes. Please, we on another level of the planet. Understand the bond. So,
man and child,
exactly, because we're above all that romance. So show me love.
You changed the previously,
last time.
Last time I was here,
previously on Barcodez. But those lines right there, they kind of molded me as a person, not as a person, but they molded me in how to deal with relationships. I took it at times. Transparency. I took it on some more like, we don't really need Valentine's, right? Because Method Man said so. Like, we understand each other so well that we don't need to do that. And it's like, yeah, but even when it's it's not really You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, but it'd still be nice. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, nah, but we get each other. We don't need, we're above that. And it's like, nah, sometimes you still got to do that.
It goes to levels of how much music influences our mindset.
Exactly. So that's where I was, and that's what we're talking about.
I salute you so much, Ed, for saying that, for being open about that. Like, for years, I smoked weed every day because I thought it can't be that bad. Black Thought smokes weed every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so bizarre as music becomes, and you're talking about Akinelli, which was, crazy, vulgar, you know what I'm saying? But the music, the other day, when I pulled up to Jack, and this is our Homeboy Sandman show. I mean, I'm not even trying to single anybody out. Yeah. But the music today, what's a bitch? Something to fuck. What do I do? Fuck that bitch. Yeah. What's a woman? A fuck thing. There'd be no, like, before, like Akinelli, there was like something before, I don't even care about women at all. They just sex objects to me. And there was like a step before the rhyme. Yeah. Here, there ain't even no step these days. It's just like, that's the line. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And people, and that's talking about relationship is just one thing, but as far as masculinity, or the toxic masculinity, or the toxic feminine, all the toxic entities, everything, criminal, horrible things. Like, we don't even get into this on here, but, I got the record, rappers use to brainwash the poor. Rappers use to brainwash everybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, the media is not good, not good rap, but not good art. You know what I mean? Yo, Shotty got up the other day. That kid is mad nice. You know what I mean?
Shouts to Shotty.
Yeah, big shouts to Shotty. Big shout to everybody who's mad nice. If it was based off who's mad nice, then there'd be a spectrum of people. There's people who are mad nice with bars. Some of them
and the diversity
don't care
would
about
exist.
Exactly. Some of them, all different types of things. But right now, that's not what this show is about. But my point is, big shout to you for admitting the obvious truth that we are so much, from the clothes we wear to the way we talk. You know what I mean? I remember when it switched. The cats didn't say bling bling until Lil Wayne said bling bling. That wasn't the way that it was. Before, rap used to be representative of the people, and I remember that. Words started, I heard words around me before I heard them on records. Then it changed at one point. I started hearing words on records first. Like I remember when I was a kid, I wonder, like Jabot, Grand Poobah was always talking about Jabots. I was just a kid. Were people wearing Jabots first, but now I recognize if a rapper say something, it moved from here to there. It don't move from there to here.
It's the art imitate life, life imitate art.
It kind of flipped on itself.
It definitely flipped on itself, and we got to be honest about that, because this music is basically saying, I'll kill a nigga all day long. I'm a vile. We got vile human being records. Man, yo, you listen to that new Vile Humanity record about the cat? Nah, I didn't listen to it. I wrote this jam called 7th Day of Christmas Instead of About Love.
Bomb. Yo.
Boom, boom.
That's excellent, yo. I mean, with the cherry on top, with the bow on top, wrapped up gift under the tree. What more can you ask for? Yo, Homeboy Sandman, thank you once again for tuning in to Barcodes.
My pleasure. Thanks so much. It really is a pleasure to talk with the two of you guys, very learned cats, you know what I mean, who clearly love breaking down rhymes, making rhymes. It's a lot of fun.
Dope. Homeboy Sandman told you it's a lot of fun. You're tuned in. Subscribe, comment, and rate.
HomeboySandman@gmail.com. If you want to be like how do I keep in touch? I have an email list. If you email me at that thing, I'll put you on the email list. You'll know when I'm coming to Miami. You'll know when I'm going anywhere. When I'm coming near you. And the music is very easy to find. Homeboy Sandman, 50 albums out. 50 albums will be out by the time you watch this.
Barcodes.
Catch us next time.
Sometimes I'm making a move, I'm running to a delay. Sometimes I get in the mood. When I end up on the route, then I end up in the way. I'm never trying to be foul, I'm only trying to be fair. But I ain't trying to be down, or trying to be scared. So I said what I said, because I thought what I thought. And we wound up in a war, that is not what I want. I only want to be loved, that is all that I seek. So you can keep the routine, keep the critique. But yo, I love when you smile, or when you're making a face. You're the girl of my dreams, you're a part of my fate. You're my ace in the hole, you're my flower in bloom. You're the light of my life, you're my stars and my moon. You are always the sun, you are never the rain. You are always the one, you are never to blame for making anything worse. Been that way from the start, you give me heaven on earth. I hope you take this to heart, but why you all in my mix, telling me what to do? Why you do that to me? I don't do that to you. Always lending a hand when didn't nobody ask. Think it come from your fam, think it come from your past. So now you taking offense, wanna be mad. That is word to my moms, word to my dad. Can't you cut me some slack? Can't you show me some grace? Can't you get off my back? Give me some space, but I don't want any space. I always want to be close. That's how come I propose, and I'm proposing a toast. When I'm spiritually broke, you throw me a bone. Baby, we should elope, take the show on the road. When I be doing the most, you still don't leave me alone. Baby, you are my homie, you are my home. There is no one like you. Love you for the rest of my life and my afterlife too. But put yourself in my shoes. I know that I ain't perfect, I'm a person trying to work on my shoes. I do not be getting short, I have a short fuse. So I always gotta be the one to call true, so we don't share the same views. That ain't right, I know you probably feel that inside, but you don't wanna hear that insight. Make me feel just like I'm losing my mind. I'm not always trying to be kind, is that such a crime? You show me it is, each moment I live. You show me your gifts, that's why you're my whiz. You've been my wish since I was a kid, now you're for real. It's impossible to explain the way that I feel. It's impossible to explain how grateful I am to you and the God that we are a team. You bring me peace with peas in a pod. It's not you when I'm unruly. Don't mind me, I get moody.